The Emperor's New Clothes. Many years ago, there lived an emperor who cared so much for fine clothes that he spent all his money on them. He had a new coat for every hour of the day and spent his time riding through the streets so that everybody could see his beautiful clothes. One day, there came to the city two rogues who set themselves up as a weaver.
We know how to weave the most beautiful cloth in the world. The patterns and color are marvelous beautiful.
But they said that the cloth could not be seen by anyone who was stupid or unfit for the emperor's office.
I must have some clothes made from these clothes. When I wear them, I shall find out what men in my empires are not fit for their places. I shall know the clever man from the dunces. Those weavers must be brought to me.
So the weavers were brought to the emperor's presence.
Yes, Your Majesty, what can we do for you?
Here, take this sum of money, but you must work without.
The rogues immediately put up to great looms and pretended to be working. They called for the finest silks and the brightest gold, but these they put into their pockets. They worked steadily at the empty looms until far into the night.
I can hear the rattlings of the looms. I must see my wonderful clothes.
He decided to send someone to find how the weavers were getting on, but he remembered that no one who was stupid or was unfit for his office could see the cloth.
I will send my faithful old minister to the weavers. He is a very clever man, and no one is more worthy of his office than he.
So the good old minister went into the room where the two rogues sat working at the empty looms. He stared and opened his eyes wide.
Mercy on us, I can see a thing.
But he said nothing at all.
Step a little near. Is that this a beautiful pattern? And the colors, are they not wonderful?
And they pointed to the empty looms. The poor old minister put on his spectacles and bent over the looms. But he could see nothing, for there was nothing to see.
It is possible that I am fit for my office. Certainly, no one must know it. I am a dunce. I will never see that I cannot see the stuff.
Well, sir, what do you think of it?
Oh, it's charming, beautiful. The colors are gorgeous, and the pattern is very fine. I shall tell the emperor that I am much pleased with your work.
I am glad indeed to hear you say so.
They went on talking of the cloth. They named the colors and described the peculiar pattern. The old minister listened carefully, for he wished to repeat to the emperor all that was said.
I need more silk and more gold, thread to use in my work.
All that was given to them they put into their pockets. Not a single strand of silk was ever put on the loom. The emperor sent another faithful friend to see the cloth and inquire how soon the clothes would be ready. But this man fared no better than the minister. He stood before the empty looms and looked and looked and looked, but he saw no cloth.
Is not this a beautiful stuff? The colors are gorgeous.
Dear, surely I'm not stupid. It must be I'm not fit for my office. That is very strange, but I must not let be known.
Then he said,
The design is most unusual. The color is marvelous. I shall tell the emperor what progress you are making.
Soon everyone in the city was talking about the wonderful cloth that the two weavers were making. The emperor thought that he would like to see the beautiful cloth while it was still upon the looms. With the number of his courtiers, he went to visit the two rogues, who were weaving rapidly day after day without any thread. Among the courtiers were the two men who had already been there. They thought that the others would see something upon the empty loom, so they began to cry out at once.
Look, Your Majesty. Do you see the beautiful design?
And the color is not gorgeous.
What is this? I see nothing at all. Am I not fit to be an emperor? Am I a dance? If that were known, I should be deposed.
Then he said,
Yes, it is very pretty. I could not be pleased.
He smiled and nodded his head and stared at the empty looms. His courtiers too looked and looked but saw no more than the others, yet they all cried.
It is wonderful. Your Majesty.
The men who were to carry the train of the emperor stooped down to the floor as if picking up something. And then they held their hands high in the air and moved forward. They did not dare let it be known that they saw nothing. The emperor marched along under the handsome canopy, and all his officers marched behind him in gorgeous clothes.
How handsome the emperor's clothes are.
What a perfect fit. What marvelous colors.
But he has nothing on.
But the people began to whisper to one another what the child had said.
He has nothing on. A child says he has nothing on. He has nothing on.
The emperor heard what they said, and he shivered, for he knew that their words were true, but it would never do to stop the procession, and so he held himself stiffer than ever, and behind him his officers skirted the invisible train.